What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? South Carolina had no business winning that game, man. They had no business winning that game, but these are the type of games that championship teams win. These are the type of games that, undefeated teams win. The games that they have no business of winning against a tough opponent on the road, no momentum, the whole world against them and stuff like that, and you pull it out. South Carolina pulled it out. South Carolina remains undefeated. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K Sub. South Carolina remains undefeated and improves into 18-0 with the 76-70 win over number 9 LSU. I don't want to hear anything about Angel Reese while I'm playing. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I don't hear nothing about that when you got Aneesah Morrow in the same starting lineup, the same Aneesah Morrow. If she is who y'all say she was at the Paul, if Angel says she is who she is at LSU and has made her a better player, if she is who she says she was in the Hawaii Thanksgiving tournament, scoring 40 points, 20 rebounds, if Aneesah Morrow is who y'all say she is, if y'all lose Angel Reese for 5 minutes, Aneesah Morrow need to be holding it down, because she's supposed to be an All-American too at the 4th spot. So I don't want to hear it all. They have Angel, listen to that. You got Aneesah Morrow right there. I don't want to hear it. Anyways, let's get back to it. So, where do we want to break it down? The whole time, it never felt like South Carolina was out of it. Even when LSU was up double digits and the arena, like it sounded loud through the screen. I was telling my homeboy last night. It sounded loud through the screen, so I can only imagine how loud it actually was in person. But it sounded like Oracle Arena 07, Golden State Autumn Jokers. It sounded like South Carolina. South Carolina get loud too. Colonia gets loud. I'm pretty sure UConn gets loud. You know, I've never been up there in Connecticut, but I'm pretty sure it gets loud up there. And probably Iowa too now. Iowa, they've sold out like every game for like the next season and stuff like that, or however long Caitlin's staying. They sold out all their games up there in Iowa. So I say all that to say it was packed, hostile environment. They're up double digits. South Carolina never looked rattled. They look like we've been here before. And that's where a lot of the just experience comes in at, you know. Yes, this is their first time being placed into these roles, you know, as the team's primary shooting guard, as the team's primary point guard, as the team's primary scorer, as the team primary this, as the team primary that. It's their first time kind of be placed in those positions, except for our Cardoso, who was in that position when she was at Syracuse. But, you know, they're all, like, they're not freshmen. You know what I mean? So it's like they've all been there before. Like Ashlyn Watkins is like a sophomore now. Chloe Kitts is a sophomore now. And last year, it kind of makes sense. I guess it paid off for Chloe. You know, Chloe leaves school early, high school early to join the team last year. Didn't get much PT. When she did, it was garbage time and she looked a little rough. This year, she looks as one of the better players on the team, you know what I mean? So it's kind of all paid off for Chloe Kitts, and she's looking great out there. Really kept them in that game and prevented the LSU lead from getting out of hand in that first quarter. Second quarter, it was much more of the same. I think Fulwiley was doing her thing in the second quarter. Hit that buzzer beater going into halftime. That was huge for South Carolina just to stay within striking distance. You know, of course, in those situations on the road, a tough opponent, they got the adrenaline going and stuff like that. You just want to stay within striking distance. And Potter got it right like a holster. You know, so that's what they did. That's what they did. Angel Reese was hype early on in the game. Had a couple big tough buckets. Del Rosario, the freshman, had a couple tough buckets in the first half as well. She only had 2 points. That's why you fact check, guys. But she did have that one tough and one in the first half, and then missed a free throw. So I guess she didn't score again. That's crazy. I thought she scored again after that, but she didn't. 7 rebounds, 2 points for her. And, you know, so it was just an interesting game. where it was like, hype. It was entertaining. It was engaging. Flau'jae had a couple moves. She had a move where she went doot doot doot. Had the crowd go, oh. I was like, oh, she done went flashback. She had to pass the ball real quick. It looked like a little flashback to Sprayberry Fall. A lot of people say they don't really. You might not see it in Flau'jae, but she's playing her role. She's playing within the offense. She's playing within the system, and her role is, to be a key contributor to, make sure she's ready when she gets the ball, play within the offense. She's not playing iso ball. If she was playing iso ball, she was dribbling. We seen what she could do. We seen the high school highlights. If you haven't, go on my channel, look at the highlights that is upload. But yes, she can do that. However, she's playing within the offense and doing the best she can for the betterment of the team. Where do we want to go now? Because obviously I feel like I want to touch on the obvious points in the fourth quarter. Third quarter, third quarter, South Carolina turned it around. They were really alert, got really close to tying the game. Paopao, the whole crew really woke up and was really, Cardoso woke up. They really made the game tight and put that pressure on LSU going into the final quarter. It didn't look like South Carolina was going to actually lose the entire time. Until early fourth quarter, LSU starts fighting back. South Carolina trying to tie the game, but LSU fights back. They get a bucket. They get a bucket here. They get a bucket there. Mikayla Williams, Angel Reese. Who else was getting buckets? Exactly. Who else was getting buckets? Exactly. But, I guess you could say Aneesah Morrow. I'll throw Aneesah in there. And, so they were all getting buckets and stuff, holding it down in the meantime. And keeping that lead like 5-6 points, keeping it 2 possessions, 3 possessions before South Carolina gets too close. And then Angel Reese catches a cramp. She catches a cramp, so Kim Mulkey has to use a timeout. And here's another. Do I want to say that? I'll say it. You might as well. Forget it. Kim Mulkey is one of the, I feel like a lot of coaches, especially on the college level, be fake crazy. You know what I mean? Like fake crazy to kind of get the best out of their team, to kind of like get the team amped up and stuff like that. I feel like Kim Mulkey's like, it's like, sometimes you're not that hype. You're not that like you doing that as a part of your like method to get the team going and stuff like that. And I guess his work, you the one that's won championships and stuff at Baylor and now last year at LSU. So I guess his worked for you, but I think it's fake crazy. I just thought it was funny. There was a clip maybe in the fourth quarter when a foul was called and Mulkey was, like with their jacket all off and stuff like that. And then Don's just in the background, just in her sweatsuit, just walking slowly, everything like that. So I thought that was a little funny clip. But yes, that was third quarter. Fourth quarter, let's get into it. Y'all ready to get into it? Let's get into it. The story of Hailey Van Lith. Hailey Van Lith, for so many plays in that game last night, looked like she forgot how to play basketball. And I'm going to tell you why. It might sound like I'm being a little harsh. Here we go. Let me explain it for those of you who don't know. Coming out of high school, it was the class of Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Hailey Van Lith, Caitlin Clark. Pretty much Paige, Hailey, and Caitlin were 1, 2, 3. I got a video of me reacting to them. It's one of my more popular reactions a couple of years ago when they were all 3 of them were on Team USA. I reacted to them and had the picture and boom, boom, boom. So, probably leading up all the way into this season, Hailey Van was a projected first-round pick. After her career at Louisville, she was known as one of the nation's better scorers and one of the better guards. Had that dog, tough player, everything like that at Louisville. She decides to put herself in the fire at LSU in the SEC and on one of the tougher starting lineups. Well, no, the toughest starting lineup in the country. When you just think about what her and Aneesah have accomplished before coming there, and Mikayla being, number 1 or number 2 player, if you want to say it was her or Fulwiley, that's up to you. So they all come in, and she's just having a very tough time this season. It's tough to see, but you have to call it. It is what it is. She's missed a lot of those mid-range shots that she used to just sink at Louisville. She's missing open threes. And then you get to the passing point, of playing point guard, everything like that, playing PG. As they said on the broadcast last night, Hailey is still trying to learn the position, which is alarming. At this point of the season, it's almost February, but she's still trying to learn the position. And a lot of the entry passes that she was making to Angel Reese just came at bad times and bad locations, which led to pretty much Angel Reese getting two kind of over the back type calls, and ultimately led to her fouling out with 5 minutes left, and being, even before that, just being not as aggressive as she wanted to be in the fourth quarter because she didn't want to foul out, although she eventually, as you guys know, fouled out. So that was that with Hailey Van Lith. Just the way that, at the halftime show, Andrea Carter, L. Duncan, and it was Coach Carolyn Peck, they were all talking about, for South Carolina, Kamilla Cardoso has to show up. They're like, APD out for Kamilla Cardoso. And they're like, where is she? Where is she? That's exactly what it is for Hailey Van Lith on the LSU side. LSU, in order for them to live up to their full potential and go back-to-back with their super team that they have now on the floor, Hailey Van Lith has to show up. Aneesah Morrow has to show up. Aneesah Morrow led the team in scoring last night, just in case you didn't know. And she was the only one with the double-double. Yeah, let me just share the screen of stats so you guys can see it with me, so I'm not just talking. As you guys see, Aneesah Morrow right here, 16 and 10 in 34 minutes. Angel had 15 and 8 in 29 minutes. So, as you guys see there, Aneesah led the team in scoring, but you're going to need more from Aneesah, especially down the stretch. She's going to have to demand the ball more down the stretch. Okay, no Angel Reese. I have to demand the ball. Just treat me like I'm Angel Reese. You know what I mean? Because that's, I don't know, man. Like, that's why you brought her in. You brought her in. You pretty much have two All-Americans, two of the best players at that position in the country. When one goes out, use the other one. You know what I mean? I feel like that's just what you just have to do. And so that was it for the LSU side of things. Like we said, bruh, it's just concerning for LSU, Obviously, you saw the talent they had when they had that double-digit lead. You saw how good that talent can be when they're all clicking on all cylinders, and especially if they got that home crowd behind them for the first couple rounds of the NCAA tournament. When it gets deeper into the tournament, when you face tougher opponents, when you face the Colorados, when you face the LSUs, when you face the South Carolinas, when you face these type of teams, it's gonna get tougher. It's gonna get tougher, man. You know what I mean? So you gotta buckle down, lock in. Everybody has to show up. You can't play iso ball. It can't be Hailey Van Lith iso ball. Pass it to Mikayla Williams, iso ball. You know what I mean? It can't be that. Everybody has to play within an offense, some type of place. Because you saw that's how Mikayla got going yesterday. Mikayla was really struggling. Let me share the screen again. Mikayla was really struggling in the fourth quarter. Mulkey drew up a couple plays that got Mikayla a couple easy layups at the bucket that got her going. A couple minutes later, what you see? Corner three, tough. Mikayla Williams, you know what I mean? So you have to continue to just run the plays. Mulkey has to continue calling plays, and everything can be get his, or get her, offense. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be an actual type offense. You know what I mean? Because that just ain't the way to go with a super team, bruh. And I feel like this is one of the first super teams we've seen, if not the first super team we've seen. And I know y'all could say, all these All-American classes coming in together. Yes, salute to the history of the game. I'm talking about All-Americans, multiple All-Americans transferring to a college and a program that already has established All-Americans coming off of a national championship. We've never seen that in a game before, especially on a college level. Let's look at the South Carolina side, shall we? All right. So, end of the fourth quarter. Hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. I'll give a fair recap before we get into numbers. So fourth quarter comes, everything like that. Like I said, South Carolina staying within striking distance. And then Raven Johnson. Shout out to Raven Johnson, man. Where is she from, y'all? That's a peach. I'm sorry, you guys gonna see. That's a peach. She's from the Peach State. She's from the A. We're late, to be exact. We're late. Campbellton Road. Cam Newton. Vince Staples. Lil Tony Official. Westlake. Raven Johnson did her thing, man. She's so fast, bro. She's so fast, but she really held the team down. Did her thing on both sides of the floor, defense and offense. She's a tough player, dog. She living up to that hype. She was number 2 behind AZ Fudd up there in UConn. And boy, she's living up to that hype. What she had, like 4 state championships at Westlake? Anyways, I'm getting off track. Shout out to Raven Johnson holding it down, getting the team within striking distance, ultimately tying the game. And then at the end of the game, who was it that stepped up with the 2 big threes? Easy breezy cover girl. Bree Hall, man. Bree Hall did what she had to do. Hit the 2 big threes down the stretch. And like just that poise, bruh. You remember Breezy playing with the freshies. You know, she the only youngin playing with the freshies. Sania wasn't playing with the freshies. Raven was hurt, unfortunately. And then last year was eased into playing with the freshies just a little bit just because, you know, Don knew the Jokers was about to graduate or go to the league and stuff like that. So Breezy the only one that's been in this predicament for real. Like in these environments, in the gutter, in the zone. And when it counted most, she missed the one. She missed the second one, right? No. She missed the first one. Rebound. Missing. Someone else missed. Rebound. Kicked out. Breezy. No. That's not what happened. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to remember the game. She had an open look by the bench. The whole bench standing up. She passed it up. He get it to Cardoso. They move the ball around a little bit. Breezy ends up relocating on the other side of the court on the wing. Someone got it out to her. I can't remember the exact play who got it out to her, but someone got it out to her. She was wide open this time. She got the ball, collected herself. Someone closed out in your face. That was the first one. Second one, she ended up wide open again, this time in the corner. I'm like, how she end up wide open twice? Anyways, she gets the ball again, close out from the corner. And that one was the dagger. It did him in. I ain't gonna hold you. So shout out Breezy Hall, man. Easy breezy cover girl. Let me see what else. Let's look at the stats. So like I said, Chloe Kitts really held them down in that first quarter and kept the game even respectable. She did this in 22 minutes. She played fewer minutes than any other starter and still outscored all them jokers, man. Salute to Chloe Kitts, man, getting it done. She looked like Iverson out there with one of the crossovers in the first half. I think that was the first half. I was like, ew. It was nice. Anyways, Fulwiley coming off the bench. I'm telling you, Fulwiley and Williams, y'all jokers already knew, but oh my gosh, bro. These freshmen, bro. This is probably the best freshman class since the Paige Beckers, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Hailey Van Lith. What was that, 2020 class? This is the best class since 2020, bro. Easily. These jokers is different. EA Sports. It's in the game. Shout out to Sania over there. She had a couple key buckets and everything like that. When, you know, rotations and stuff like that. She held it down. I say that to say there was no drop-off when she was in the game. Let me see. Ashlyn Watkins, she fouled. So, you know, shout out to her being an enforcer talent. Paopao had an off game, but she still ended up with 12 points for 38 minutes. Cardoso, like as we said, really showed up a little bit more in the second half, and that made the difference. 11 points, 8 rebounds. She really made that difference in the third quarter. Raven, just an amazing game, bruh. Flirted with the double-double, which is crazy because at the guard position. She's a bigger guard, so it makes sense, but it's still crazy and kind of just logic. 13-9-4, Breezy 10-5, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the game. So after the game, Angel Reese took to Twitter, say, "I'm a dog. This one on me." You know what I mean? Like, we gonna keep going. Do. And yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, I don't want to say anything too controversial. But I think it's fair to challenge Angel. Say, Angel, I see your talent. You're obviously one of the better players in the country. And you have been since high school. You are one of the better players in the country. I think it's also fair to say you are young. How old is Angel? 20? 21? She's 21. Angel, you're 21, so you're still a young woman. In the college landscape, you are a bit older. This is like, what, your 4th year? Technically 3rd season, so you're like technically a junior, but this is your 4th year. I think it's fair to say at this point, and I mean this with love, you're talented, very talented player. You can mature a little bit. And I don't want you to take that as, oh, I'm throwing stones from a glass house, I think I'm better than you. Because I know how it gets when people say something like that to you, right? But when you look at, you on Twitter were trending alongside Draymond. So many people have tried to tell Draymond throughout his career, hey, bruh, I think you need to dial all that emotion into this and that. Put your energy into this and that. And that'll be so much more beneficial to the team as opposed to you putting that energy into this, which is kind of holding the team back because you're not even available for when we need your actual basketball skill and talent, because you put your energy into boom, boom, boom. It's the same thing I'm seeing a lot of times in some of y'all's games, especially the bigger games. High intensity, emotions are a little more turned. And yes, I know you're like this every game against Southwestern Michigan Community Christian College. I know you're like this every game, but against the bigger opponents and the bigger matchups, those type of actions can hold back the team. Cardoso blocks you, what was that, the 3rd quarter? Gives you a stare down. The very next play you get a rebound, you don't just get the rebound, you snatch the rebound. Then you kind of spin the ball and you stare at Cardoso, you pose for a second, and then you pass the ball to the guard. It didn't go up the floor. 5 seconds because you're doing it for the cameras. If you don't get back on offense, we got a basketball game to play. The final foul. There's no need for you to reach in on that layup attempt, bro. No reason for you to reach in on that final layup attempt. You got 4 fouls, bro. Let him get the layup. Let's live to fight another day, bro. But you might have forgot. You might have forgot in that moment until you committed the foul that you have 4 fouls. So I ain't going to hold that too much against you. You playing defense. You know, close game. No easy layups. Nothing given. You got Aneesah Morrow in your lineup. That's on Aneesah for not holding y'all down the stretch. Hailey Van hits a big 3 down the stretch. It don't matter because she missed a bunch of other wide open shots and set you up with some bad passes to get you the foul. Okay. That happened. We can't undo that. It is what it is. What you can control is just making sure you don't get too out of control so your team doesn't have you available when they need you to be available the most. That's all I'm saying. So I say that in love. I say that in the best way possible. Angel, yes, you are one of the more talented players in the world. It's been that way since high school. But your game, and you can go so much further with just a little more maturity and a more consistent jumper. Because I don't want you losing money in the W. You know, you obviously always going to get money. Your brand is established. Outside of basketball, you established. But in the W, just general W salary, I don't want your salary to be affected because, oh, Angel can't keep her stuff in check. Oh, Angel not going to do this. Oh, Angel going to, oh, Angel going. You weren't available earlier in the season for a reason, Angel. You know what I mean? And there was a lot of speculation on what that was. There's been a lot of rumors on We're not even going to get into that because I heard a whole nother story. And, you know, obviously we've seen the leaked DMs of the other parents saying that, you know, she thinks she a fake gangster and this and that. We've seen other players and other former players come out on social media and complain about your demeanor and your stuff like this and your on the court. It might be time before it's too late to just look in the mirror, look at the reflection, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with reflecting and being like, dang, how can I tune this into better channels to help me go this much further? Because you have a talent that 98% of the world don't have. 98% of the world doesn't have your talent. And so when we see greatness in you, even greater than what you have done so far, why settle to be Why settle to be a starter or a rotational player in the WNBA when you can be A'ja Wilson? Great example. Why settle to be a rotational role player in the WNBA when you can be A'ja Wilson? That's all I want to say. So if you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs. My name is Rashad Milligan. Don Staley said it wasn't that the crowd wasn't that mean. They actually were nice. They called me boo. Let me see if I can see anything else. Okay. I got to give it up to Aalyah Boston because she said something to Breezy during the timeout that really relaxed her, settled her down. Shout out to Aalyah Boston, man. That's real leadership right there. Shout out to AB. AB, I was cheering and everything like that behind the bench and stuff like that. Kept putting the camera on her and Hailey Van Lith's parents. But, shout out to all of them. Today is January 26th. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. Let me get some RIP Kobe's in the chat. RIP Mamas in the chat. You know what I mean? May God protect him and Gigi's soul and the rest of the children and parents that were on that plane, that helicopter in LA on this day 4 years ago. Goodness gracious. And like, may Kobe be redeemed and everything and forgiven for everything and stuff like that. And yeah, man. And thank you, Kobe, for giving me the biggest interview of my life. I appreciate it. Whew. This is the road to 5K subs. Please have an amazing day. I'll care for you so much. I was about to say, I'll say it anyway. I love you guys. Aww. Y'all have an amazing day. All right, peace out.